Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kwadash. Also want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for passing down this truth. And I also want to send a sincere salutation out there to the elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. Now, in this lesson, I want to go into how America is an illusion, Esau Edom marketed his system to the people, because really, when you think about it, marketing is really all around you. Everything that you see is marketed to you to get you to buy in, you see? Like Esau Edom, he doesn't tell it like it is. He's marketed America to you as the American dream. You see? First, let's look that up. First, I want to get the definition of illusion. An illusion is a misrepresentation of reality where something is perceived differently than it actually is. You see? And that's America for you. That's the American dream. Now we're going to look up the American dream. The American dream is the belief that anyone in the United States can achieve success and upward mobility through hard work and determination regardless of their background. Now you see, America used to be able to deliver on this back in like the 50s and 60s, maybe even the 70s, when you was able to work at the plant, get you a factory job with benefits, paid you well. You was able to support you, a wife, and even children on just your income alone. And maybe if your wife did work, she worked in a hospital, she was a nurse or something, but your wife working was, optional. But now in the times we're living in, the man and the woman have to go to work. It's not even a choice. You need the dual income. You see, as my brother Yaquab said, this is the dual increments era. You see, it's because it's easier to pull your weight with two rather than one because the price of living is so high now. But you see, that's Esau. He can't deliver on his promises anymore because America is spiraling the drain. Now, this is a video. I only captured about 3 minutes of a 25-minute video. So I'm just going to focus on this point in the video. I'm going to link the whole video in the description. But he was bringing out nothing but facts in this video, like irrefutable facts, you see? So I'm going to let the video run, and then I'm going to get into some scriptures. So
then nothing else is important. And they can't even articulate any dissatisfaction that they might feel, It's just like someone who has bought into the internal logic of a cult. That's Americans. No matter how objectively horrible, no matter how objectively abnormal things are within your compound, you can rationalize it. You can anesthetize yourself to it because you have absorbed the cult logic, the cult doctrine that makes it all make sense to you. You wake up every day in America already in debt. Before your eyes even open, you owe on your house, you owe on your car, you owe on your education, you owe for your health. Your whole life is chained to subscription services. Debt slavery, wage slavery, subscription slavery. Your whole existence is leased. It's on loan from the moment you're born. From the moment you're born, you are plugged into a system that feeds on you financially, psychologically, spiritually, and you're told that all of that is freedom. You're told it's the best thing that ever happened to humanity. It's the best system there is. And you should be grateful. You should be proud. Tell me that isn't cult-like. You live in a bubble of euphemisms. You work like a slave. You sell your time, which is what your life is, by the way. It's time. Your presence in this world is nothing but time. And actually, you don't even sell it, because selling it would imply that you have a choice, but you don't have a choice to sell your time. Do you understand? You have to. That's what I mean. You're literally born in debt. Because from the moment that you enter the world, if you live in the West, if you live in America, Well, you have to start justifying your existence within the prevailing profit model. You know, whatever intrinsic value that you have as a human being, whatever purpose you might have in this life, is subordinated by necessity to a job that you don't care about for people who you don't even know, in a company that would replace you tomorrow with a machine or with AI or with a robot if they could. Your dignity is tied to your productivity. And if you don't produce, you don't deserve to eat. If you don't produce, you don't deserve shelter. You don't deserve peace. You're only worth whatever you can generate monetarily for someone else. So you cope. You consume, you scroll, you eat, you buy things that you don't need on credit to reward yourself with the cold comfort of frivolous goods. You know, reward yourself for all the hard work that you're doing, only to keep the cycle going. You bury yourself in entertainment that makes you feel a little bit less numb for just a few hours. Imagine, the only way that you can feel anything similar to being alive is to watch fiction. But you think that's normal because that's what everyone in the cult does.
Now, see, how can you argue that? Everything he said is true. You see, when you're born, into slavery, you're born into debt. Your whole life is predicated on how much you can make someone else. You see? You owe as soon as you're born. You owe on your home, your car, your education, and your health. But see, that's the reality of your situation. That's the reality of living in America. But you see how Esau Edom marketed it to you as the American dream? You see how he put his spin on it to make it palatable for you, rather than telling it like how he just told it, which is the reality of the situation. You see? But it's all marketing. Now, let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2:7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." And who is that wicked that's being revealed? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You see, everybody's on to you. He can't hide in the shadows like he did, for years on end. You see, everybody's hip to Esau Edom in his games. It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie." And you see, the people in the world, you're in a state of delusion. You see, the elect, the men and the women that's actually hip to this truth, hip to this knowledge, we understand the predicament that we're in. We understand that we're in America to serve out our punishment. You see, we don't want nothing from this world. We want the kingdom of heaven. You see, the scriptures say use the world, but not abusing the world. You see, we get by day. We're not trying to build ourselves up and glorify ourselves and get financial freedom and establish a stronghold in America. That's the furthest thing from our mind, because we know ultimately Yahweh Shai and the angels is coming to destroy America and save the elect out of this world. But you see, the people in the world that's not hip to this knowledge, they have no idea about that. They couldn't even wrap their heads around it. They're too busy trying to establish a foothold in America and set up financial freedom and generational wealth. You see, they're under a strong delusion. 11th verse, it says, "And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Now let's go to Isaiah 29:9. It says, "Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink." See, this is this is parabolic, it's just speaking in a parable. It's not talking about, alcohol or being drunk from wine or something like that. It's talking about the philosophies that the people have taken on here in America. You see? The American dream. It says, "For the Lord Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, he hath covered." You see, these people in the world, the 2/3, and even the heathens, like that's here in America, they're under a deep sleep. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea of the world around them and what is coming to befall America. You see, the future of America. They have no idea. They think America is going to go on another 250 years. They think they're going to see AI really transform the world, you see? But as it says, "and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered." This is talking about, the ones that's in the faith, the ones that actually knows what's going on and what the future of America is. The seers, the ones that have vision. 11th verse, it says, "And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, For as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips, do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men." You see, people say that they love the Lord and they worship the Lord, but it's really just lip service. Because when you ask them, what do you do to serve the Lord? It's crickets, you see, because they're too busy trying to advance themselves in America. They're too busy trying to get ahead, you see. They're focused on this world, not the world to come. And it says it's taught by the precept of men. Yeah, like your Christian pastors in the church preaching that prosperity doctrine. You see, it all goes hand in hand. The prosperity doctrine, that's the American, that's preaching the American dream, you see, forwarding yourself in this society rather than getting your house in order for the kingdom of heaven. 14th verse. It says, Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. You see? And when you talk about forwarding yourselves in America and investing in your future, you see, that's the wisdom of this world. You see, people think that you're actually wise when you talk like that in America, like you have some high knowledge, especially if you have the wealth to go with it. You got the cars, the clothes, the hoes, all of the things that people want out the world. You see, you're looked at as a wise man, but really you're foolish because you don't have the vision. You can't see the future. You're really just living in the now, and that's what's going to get you caught up and destroyed ultimately. It says, Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us? And you see, that's the pride of Esau, he contrives mischief, but he thinks that nobody sees him. He thinks since he's been getting away with it for so long, he's going to be getting away with it forever. But he doesn't understand. He's only getting away with it because the Lord is allowing him to do so. But when Yahweh Shai comes back with his angels, he's going to pull Esau Edom out the power seat. And the Israelites, starting with the elect, will take hold of the power seat. You see? It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. And Esau turned the world upside down. Like everything Esau Edom established here is totally contrary to the scriptures. The scriptures say to do it one way. Esau Edom and his laws that he established has it set up to do it the complete opposite way. And that's why America is in such disarray. That's why it's spiraling the drain. You can't do wrong right. It's only a matter of time before it's like a house of cards, it's got to come down. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Okay, let's go to Proverbs 22:7. It's Proverbs 22:7. It says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And you see, that's the situation when you have debt, because now you have to work off your debt. But see the wickedness that Esau Edom does. He'll loan money out to you, but say if you got to borrow $100, he wants interest on top of it, and that's wicked. Obviously, if I got to borrow the money, that means I don't have it. So you're going to charge me a tax on the money that I don't have, rather than just giving me the 100 and I'll give you the 100 back. That's square business. But you see, Esau Edom wants to take advantage of you by charging you interest, because his hope is that you can't pay him back. So you'll never pay off the principal. You just constantly be paying interest. So he'll be making hand over fist. You see, that's Esau Edom's system. But people, it's like they see nothing wrong with this. That's total wickedness. I don't got the money to begin with. You gonna charge me interest on top of it? How is that right? Now, because that's really exploitation, you see? It's having you in a precarious situation, because that's how you get control over people. You give them something and then you take it away from them. And then that's when they're going to yearn for it even more, once they don't have it anymore. And ultimately you have control over them. You can get them to do whatever you want them to do. Now let's go to Proverbs 1:32. It says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. You see, the prosperity of fools, the forwarding yourself in this world that we're in today. Because ultimately, when you understand the scriptures and Bible prophecy, we already know everything in America is going to be destroyed when Yahweh Shai comes back. There's not going to be even a blade of grass. There's not going to be nothing left standing. So you're building yourself up in the kingdom that's just going to get destroyed anyway, rather than building yourself up in the knowledge and Lord's will. When Yahweh Shai comes back, you're of the chosen, you're of the elect, and you get to inherit the kingdom of heaven on the first go round if you're an Israelite. That's the important part. That's the point that got to be stressed. If you're an Israelite, you see, it's like, imagine you're investing in a home, right? And you get to live in the home, say, okay, I'm gonna buy this home, but I only get to live in the home for 2 years before it gets destroyed. You're not gonna invest in it because it's a stupid investment. It's just gonna get destroyed anyway. So why would I put my money in it? You got to look at it that way. America is going to be destroyed. So why put all your effort and energy into it when it's just going to get destroyed, rather than building yourself up spiritually and having hope that you are of the chosen, that you are of the elect? You have an even greater promise coming to you. And you see, that's what the elect is hoping for. That's what we're hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. There's nothing that America can offer me at all. It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. See. Now let's go to Habakkuk 2:15. Salakia. Yeah, Habakkuk 2:15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And you see, again, it's not talking about drink like is in, Isaiah the 29th chapter. It's talking about the delusion, like the philosophies and the way that Esau Edom tries to push this system on you. You see? It says, woe unto, let's read in the NLT. See how it reads. Habakkuk 2:15. It says, what sorrow, in the NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them, so you can gloat over their shameful nakedness. And that's how Esau gets down. He'll have you, in a precarious situation. He'll have you, in a state of needing, in a state of, vulnerability, just to shame you, you see, just to point out your flaws and have you looking just destitute, have you in just a precarious state. But you see, when you come into the knowledge, when you come into the truth, you have wisdom. You can see what Esau is trying to do. You can see how he's pulling a fast one on the people. You see, we have to live here, but we're from here, but our mindset is completely out of America. We're thinking on the kingdom of heaven. We understand that we're just here serving our captivity for going off. You see? We're out of the world. We just live here, but we're not of the world. We just live here. We just do what we got to do. Go to work. Do the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that's really our lives. Of course, we have our times of leisure where we do the things that we like to do. Cultivate your art, cultivate a talent. But these are the things that we need just to keep us sane in this fucking place. Now, I'm going to end it here. Let's go to Revelation 3:18. Let's read in the NLT. It says, so I advise you to buy gold from me, gold that has been purified by fire. Then you will be rich. It's going off. This is Revelation 3:18 in the King James. It says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich. You see, and this is talking about, the elect, us going through the fire, us being tried in the flesh and in the spirit here in America. You see, bearing our cross. It says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment. And you see, how do you get the impurity out of gold and purify it? You got to put that fire to it. You got to put it under that heat to really see what it's made of. And that's how the Lord is working on his chosen, on his elect. The hell we catch is really the Lord purifying us. That's how you got to look at it. It says, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. And you see, our our third eye, you can say, our spiritual eye is open. We can see the world for what it really is. You see, because we have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures. This is something that the overwhelming majority of the world does not have. Only the chosen, only the elect will have it. Just because you're an Israelite doesn't mean you're of the chosen. Doesn't mean you're of the elect. You see, doesn't mean you actually know what you're a part of and what you're dealing with and the future of America. Only the elect will receive the eye salve. Let's go into that word, eye salve.
Strong's G 2854, Kalurian, Kalurian, Thayer's Lexicon, related entry. Kalurian, Kalurian.
A preparation composed of various materials and used as a remedy for tender eyelids. You see, we got the eye salve, we got the vision. We can see. So let's get that This is Proverbs 29 and 18. Let's see if there's more meat on that bone. Start at the 15th verse. This is Proverbs 28 and 15. It says, the rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. He shall give delight unto thy soul. And you see, the righteous shall see their fall. We see how, we went off and how we're sorrowful now. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in now, is because we went off in the past. And we really are sorrowful about it. It says, correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. He shall give delight unto thy soul. And you see us that's in the faith, that's in the know, that's in the knowledge, and have the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're really the least of the world's worries. You don't got to worry about us kicking in nobody's door, peddling drugs in the community, trying to forward ourselves in this kingdom, because we know ultimately this kingdom's going to be destroyed. We really just want to do the work of the Lord. We really just want to, try our best to serve the Lord in our captivity. You see, we're the most upright standing citizens that this world has, really. And I'm not saying that to be over righteous or that we're perfect. It's just the truth. We're governed by something. We're governed by these scriptures. The people in the world, they're not governed by anything. Only thing they're governed by is the law that Esau, Edom has in place. You see? And even that's not even enough. You see, us, we know what we will and won't do. But the people in the world, there's no telling what they will or won't do, especially if it's to forward themselves in this world. Come on now. 18th verse, this is the point. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. You see, the people in the world, they have no vision. They can't see the future. But us that's in the know, we can see the future. You see? So, I'll play the video again. I'm going to let it run and I'm at it.
Then nothing else is important. And they can't even articulate any dissatisfaction that they might feel, It's just like someone who has bought into the internal logic of a cult. That's Americans. No matter how objectively horrible, no matter how objectively abnormal things are within your compound, you can rationalize it. You can anesthetize yourself to it because you have absorbed the cult logic, the cult doctrine that makes it all make sense to you. You wake up every day in America already in debt. Before your eyes even open, you owe on your house, you owe on your car, you owe on your education, you owe for your health. Your whole life is chained to subscription services, debt slavery, wage slavery, subscription slavery. You know, your whole existence is leased. It's on loan from the moment you're born. From the moment you're born, you are plugged into a system that feeds on you financially, psychologically, spiritually, and you're told that all of that is freedom. You're told it's the best thing that ever happened to humanity. It's the best system there is. And you should be grateful. You should be proud. Tell me that isn't cult-like. You live in a bubble of euphemisms. You work like a slave. You sell your time, which is what your life is, by the way. It's time. Your presence in this world is nothing but time. And actually, you don't even sell it, because selling it would imply that you have a choice, but you don't have a choice to sell your time. Do you understand? You have to. That's what I mean. You're literally born in debt. Because from the moment that you enter the world, if you live in the West, if you live in America, well, you have to start justifying your existence within the prevailing profit model. You know, whatever intrinsic value that you have as a human being, whatever purpose you might have in this life, is subordinated by necessity to a job that you don't care about for people who you don't even know, in a company that would replace you tomorrow with a machine or with AI or with a robot if they could. Your dignity is tied to your productivity. And if you don't produce, you don't deserve to eat. If you don't produce, you don't deserve shelter. You don't deserve peace. You're only worth whatever you can generate monetarily for someone else. So you cope. You consume, you scroll, you eat, you buy things that you don't need on credit to reward yourself with the cold comfort of frivolous goods. You know, reward yourself for all the hard work that you're doing, only to keep the cycle going. You bury yourself in entertainment that makes you feel a little bit less numb for just a few hours. Imagine, the only way that you can feel anything similar to being alive is to watch fiction. But you think that's normal because that's what everyone in the cult does.
Just facts. Irrefutable facts. So, Lord will, this lesson was edifying. Till the next